Hello everybody, welcome to the first part of the new Chrono Trigger 20% no LSS tutorial. I am ElGranJerry and I'll be guiding you through this. It's been almost 1.5 years since the last one, I think, so very well needed new tutorial. I'll be following all of the new route, I'll be also explaining some of the new stuff for beginners. I'll be trying to make it all inclusive as I did the past one. Before we start though, I would recommend you to go into chrono.wiki.com. That's sort of the webpage where we have our strats and stuff. And then under any percent no LSS, you'll find ElGranJerry's notes or ElGranJerry route, whatever the name is. I want you to open that. You can also follow the route that's on the wiki itself. Either of those is fine. Something that's really important as well, also on chrono.wiki.net, you'll click on the right, it says strategies. You want to download something that says boss patterns guide. That one's actually unique. That's I think the format that I use, I like it a lot. You can use any of the other formats you want. // has a route on the wiki and CK has the route on the wiki, so you can use what you like, but I'm gonna be referring to the documents I use basically. So chrono.wiki.com, ElGranJerry's route is there under no LSS, any percent no LSS, and then the boss patterns guides under strategies. So yeah, should we begin? Okay, first of all, first things first, you want to delete all your save files. You want to make sure that when you start, you can only see this. Now, you might delete your save files and then press A. No, after you delete your save files, you want to reset, get to this screen, and make sure that after the pendulum, all you get is this. Because of how the RNG works in this game, we're going to be requiring basically starting always on the same RNG, which in this case would be RNG 0. I'll be talking about RNG in a few, explain it in detail, don't worry about that. So let's get ready. First we'll have active and wait. We do wait. Wait basically lets us think in the menu. So you might think, well, I mean active you want to go fast, but wait actually just lets us, the enemies don't attack us when we're in our menus. So it gives us time to it gives us not only time, but it gives us the ability to like script fights and plan fights according to certain things. So it's pretty nice. You want to do wait, then you want to rename Chrono to one character. You don't want to press B. If you press B, you're just gonna get a null character. Like right now, Chrono would be named five blank spaces. So once you start here, you want to go all the way here and press all the way here, okay? Until you leave the O. You want to leave the O. So it says Chrono, you want to go here, press it 4 times, and just leave the O and press start. That's the fastest way to name him one character. Each character we delete saves a frame. So we're basically saving 4 frames every time Chrono's name appears. And that adds up to around 6 seconds for Chrono only throughout the whole route. So yeah, quite a bit. Okay, so we're getting ready into this. Hope you're excited. This game I think has a big misconception I want to address from the beginning. Most people think it's overwhelming and it's really extremely hard. And RNG manipulation is insane and nobody can do it except Tasp. I'm just wanna let you know that this game's pretty easy to learn. I think if you practice maybe like an hour for like 2-3 weeks, you can easily get like a 3-hour and 5-minute time more or less. It starts getting harder when you are really optimized, but I just want to address that at the start, you know. There's a big misconception regarding this game that it's ultra hard and blah blah blah. I think it's pretty easy to learn, and I'm gonna show it to you during this tutorial. So first of all, we're gonna get out of our bed, we're gonna run, and we're gonna open our menu. First, we're gonna get battle speed 5. We were on battle speed 5, we're gonna go to battle speed 1. We wanna select this. This basically puts our battle cursor on memory. So what this does is that it will remember the last tech and the last attack we did, basically. So we can use it later without having to always reset to attack at the top. It remembers our tech, our item, so next time we can use it, we can just mash it. It's really helpful. So you want to change, you want to check this, and then you want to go here. And I think this is something, if you're a new player, you might as well do it. You want to change your controls, because for the Guardian skip that's coming up in a while, you're required to change your X control. So basically you don't want X mapped on X. So the fastest thing to do is change X and Y. That's what most runners do, since they're like lesser used buttons, and it still gives you a good grip for fatal glitches that we're gonna talk about later. So if you want to switch that from the beginning, just switch X and Y here. So put menu on Y and warp on X, basically. That's the only thing. If you want to play with normal controls, that's fine. The only thing is that you're gonna need to change your controls for the Guardian skip and then change them back after the Guardian skip. So it's one extra menu, but you can play whatever you want. I do my weird control setup. I basically switch things like if it wasn't a PlayStation controller, an Xbox controller, sorry. So that's just the way I like to play. Yeah, we talked to our mom, name Luca, one character, same, go down, no space 4 times. Small character 4 times. Now I'm playing on emulator. It's the first time in a while playing on emulator, so let's see how this goes. Now we're gonna bump on Marl. I want to make sure clear, after this text box closes, you don't want to press A. If you press A again, let me show you. File, is that me? Save state. Okay, that's the save. Okay, so after we save, after I saved, if I press A here, after my pendant, I'm gonna talk to Marl. You don't want that to happen, okay? So you want to close that second text box, and then you want to get the pendant, basically. You don't want to talk to her again. If you talk to her again, you're gonna screw up the chance you get guilty. So after you close the My Pendant text box, don't press A until Chrono gets up. Your name is Marl, same, again. And Chrono, nice to meet. Nice to meet you, sorry. Then we're gonna go down here. We're gonna talk to this guy, and we're gonna close the text box immediately. What I do basically is I go here, and I hold start and B. So basically you just wanna run down, talk to this guy, hold start and B, don't even let the menu appear, and then go up back again. You can find your own way, you can just mash it or whatnot. But yeah, you wanna go right here, and you wanna do this. You can do candy skip, saves 61 frames if you get it, but you get the cutscene on the way back, so it's not like a huge time save, like in New Game Plus. So whatever suits you. And here I just recommend, just taking one step to the right here, basically, just like I am right now. And after you close this text box, you hold up left, talk to Luca. Pretty simple. Just hop onto the left bot, but we're not hopping onto the left bot, we're just talking to Marl. And we're gonna have quite a bit of downtime here, so I'm gonna try and explain a little bit how RNG works in this game. Basically the RNG advances. When we enter a fight, it advances depending on the value of the fight, basically, and when we do an attack, it advances by a certain value. So that gives us the ability, if we know our starting RNG, and we know how much each battle affects it, and we know the attacks we do, we can play with it, and we can get a certain RNG that we can manipulate, including the boss's AI, so we can get the fastest fight as possible. During that whole RNG block, which I'm just calling RNG block for simplicity, but it's a couple of different hexadecimal values. There's like the critical table. We manipulate also the critical table, so we can get more criticals. You're gonna see that really heavily in the Dragon Tank fight, for example. And then we also like the AI manipulation for Masamune is really nice. It's just a couple of different things all around we're gonna see in this tutorial. And yeah, that's just the general explanation of how RNG works. Once you see the fights and stuff, you're gonna understand more. But yeah, the thing about this game is, most people that run this game, when they lose the RNG, they get, I don't know if they get mad or they get whatever, they just reset. That's not necessary unless you're trying to beat Red Slash and get the world record. Losing RNG is not a big deal. I think my 251 PV, just 3rd place right now, lost RNG in them. Like from the first fight in the game, basically, and I still managed to get a pretty good time. I only lost like 30 seconds in that segment, so if you lose RNG, don't get discouraged. It's hard to keep, like, if you get into an extra fight, that means you lost the RNG immediately. If you mess up the fight, it means you lost the RNG, basically. But don't get discouraged, keep going. The main thing about this game is understanding the battle, so you can do it without the RNG. And for the bosses that we really need the RNG, it's noted. And I'm gonna note backup loads, I'm gonna note backup strats, I'm gonna just let you know how to do it. Not hard. Just don't reset over a 15-second RNG time loss if your time is like 3.5 hours, please. Not worth it. You want to try to finish as many full game runs of this game. Okay, so I missed something there. I'm gonna have to reset, I'm sorry guys. I mean, reset to this, but not all the way. That is the first fight in the game. So as soon as you get out of the portal, you want to hold left and run. I just do that to make sure that my position is always the same, because there are certain pixels where you can get the rollies in different positions and you get hit a little bit faster, a little bit slower. Just run left. And this is the first fight in the game basically. You want to do this fight without getting hit. It takes practice, to be honest. You're gonna do X right X, so X right X, hit the guy. Then you want to do again X right X, hit this guy, and then you want to hold X. You want to do it without getting hit. If you're getting hit, I recommend you to, try it again. Pretty simple. Let me do it again. X right X. That's one. Something I've been telling myself lately, it's don't anticipate, react. So I don't anticipate the bar filling up. I react to the bar filling up. You have a little bit of time to get it, so it's not that bad. Also, something I forgot to mention, when I said X right X, the thing about setting your battle cursor to memory is that it also gives you the ability to attack with X. So every time during this tutorial that I refer to attacking, it's gonna be with X. We never use the attack button on the menu to attack. Never. We only use X. So note that down, write it down, keep it in mind. It's really important. Okay, now we're gonna get into the first skip in the game, which is bird skip. I have my own setup for this, which I'm just gonna show it real quick, and then I'm gonna tell you more or less how it works. As soon as I get on top of the ladder, I hold upright. I do 3 taps. I just run up and skip the fight. So, wow, how did that work? Well, there's 2 pixels that you can stand on, and then you hold B, which basically you hold run and up, and you can skip the fight. You gotta hold run. Those 2 pixels are the pixels that are past the plank in the bridge. So in this case, you can see Chrono's right foot is past the last plank of the bridge. The last plank that's like hanging over the water. You can see it right now. You can see Chrono's foot barely hanging above that plank. That's a good pixel, for example. If here I would just hold B and up, I would skip the fight. Okay, so like there. Perfect. No? You just want to try it out. Get your feel. What works, what doesn't work for you. Get your setups. You want to just try it out. And you want to hold B and you want to run. Also, you want to run all the way up, because if you don't run all the way up, you might trigger the fight. The fight still triggers, like it doesn't just disappear like that, but but yeah, you want to just try it out. One thing that I advise you, if you're 1 pixel away from making it, you might not want to tap left, because in this game, when you tap left or right, Chrono can move 1 or 2 pixels randomly. So a tap doesn't equal 1 pixel movement. It might equal 2. It might equal 2 pixel movement. So you want to just try it around. If you're 1 pixel away, like, oh no, I doesn't make it or whatever, what I usually do is just reposition from a further distance, just to make sure that that I'm not gonna get trolled by that 2 pixel movement instead of 1. I'm just gonna have to lose 40 seconds in the first skip of the game. So yeah, that's bird skip. Pretty simple. I recommend you practicing. Just remember Chrono's foot past the last plank of the bridge, like right there, the right foot, and just hold up and run. You want to get this chest, there's a power glove, and we want to head out of here. Okay, cool. So we already learned the first fight of the game, which in my opinion is one of the hardest of the game, not gonna lie, and skip. The bird skip, you're gonna do it 4 times, so I recommend you to practice it a lot, and just get it down. You do it 4 times in the run. If you nail it all, you're saving well over a minute. So yeah, and it's not as hard, just gotta practice. Okay, so movement through areas is pretty, it's pretty varied in this game. There's fights in this game that you can't see, but when you step over it, you trigger them. So, and there's also fights that you can see, and when you touch the enemies, they trigger. So for the most part, I'm gonna be running through some areas. I'm not gonna go exactly over all the movement, but you can just see the video and see where I run through, and you can play with it. Also, I'm gonna plug in right here the emulator. So there's a practice ROM hack made by RedSlash. You can find it also in chrono.wiki.com. There's the link. And that practice ROM hack lets you know, like, it has like in the floor, you can see actually squares and circles of where the fights are and where you should not step. So that gives you a little bit of a better idea where things are. There's also some maps. I'm pretty sure they're around there somewhere. That the maps like see where the invisible fights are. But if you're practicing on emulator, instead of playing on the normal ROM, I really recommend you playing on the practice ROM, just in order so you can see that basically. You can see your RNG, you can see everything. So it's really nice. So yeah, you should do that. After we get through the forest, we want to go to Guardia Castle. Okay. And we're gonna mash chain. The way text works in this game, it advances, you know. Normally, if you press B, text doesn't advance faster. If you press L, text doesn't advance faster, whatever. You just gotta mash A. And the way it works is that it closes in cycles. So I think it's 4 frame cycles. So you wanna mash A to close it as fast as possible, but you don't have to be frame perfect every time because it lets you close the text box every 4 frame cycles, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm mistaken, I'm sorry, but it's some sort of frame cycle. Okay, you wanna go all the way up the stairs. And you want to talk to Queen Lean, which, you know, Marl, best character in the game. Marl. Okay, so we're gonna talk to Marl, and I think I've explained basically the basics of the run. Heavy RNG manipulation. Don't reset if you make like a simple RNG mistake, it's not worth it. The way the fights work, and we're gonna get into the glitches in a little bit. Glitches they're not complicated, but you know, it's better to show them while you're doing them instead of just talking about it. You know, just talk to Marl, mash A, advance text as fast as possible. If you're holding down or something, there's part of the cutscene you can actually run away and leave Marl there, but the story doesn't continue. So you just want to mash A until she disappears completely. When you go downstairs, you want to hold diagonally down or diagonally up it, depending if you're going up or down. It's faster than just holding left or right. And please do that. It saves time. It's not hard. It's pretty intuitive, so it pains seeing people just like holding right on the stairs, losing time, when you can just like hold down right and go down them faster. These stairs though are kind of tricky. Well, tricky because you gotta hold left a little bit and then down right, because if you hold down right all the time, you'll get out of them. But yeah, just hold diagonal on all the stairs basically. We're gonna get more text. You're gonna see me also doing a lot of saves. This is just in case the emulator crashes or whatever, we can get back fast and continue the tutorial as fast as possible. Also, I'm gonna be showing you things, and sometimes I'm gonna rewind and do things twice, show different methods. So I'm doing save states because of that. Save states are obviously not allowed in a run, but they're allowed for practice and they're really helpful. If you have that, then really recommend it. The practice ROM also has warps, so if you're playing that on an SD to SNES or something, you can go back to the fights really quickly. It's really nice. So we're gonna get Luca now, and we're gonna go into the forest. The forest is a nice area. You actually get 2 fights, so during this run we do 4 fights that we don't need to. So basically 4 fights we grind for XP, and 2 of them are here, so yeah. This game has very little grinding. Gonna go down. Okay, so that's something I should probably talk about. You wanna go down into the forest, and you don't wanna enter the fight like this. Nope, you don't wanna do that. If you wanna save like half a second, you wanna go past down and do that. That's gonna make it faster. And then we're gonna do the fight. So I'm gonna get to that, so just repeat this. On right. Okay. And then we can do the fight. So I'm just doing the fight really quickly right now. But yeah, this fight's pretty simple. Let's just do it again. This is just so our characters take less time to get into position. So yeah. That means I was too slow. So the correct way to do this fight is you want Chrono to attack the guy in the middle. So he attacks the guy in the middle. You want to attack with Luca, and as before Chrono's bar fills, you want to hold X. But you want to make sure that Chrono's bar is almost full because you want Chrono to attack first here. Okay? So maybe I didn't make it clear, but you want Chrono to attack the middle guy really quickly, really quickly, and then you want to attack with Luca as soon as Chrono's missing like really little for his action bar to fill. So you want to do this. You want to attack the middle guy, X right X. Oh, that. You want to attack the middle guy, X right X. That if you get hit, that means you did it too slow. So you gotta be fast. And then you gotta wait until Chrono almost gets his bar full, like that. And you wanna just hold X. You're gonna see me do some more mess ups than usual. Emulator input delay is real, so it makes this a little bit harder. But if everything goes right, you're supposed to get the fight like this. Look at crits for 38 at the end. You can just do it a few times. Attack the guy in the middle, wait until Chrono's bar almost fills. You don't want to wait until it fills. You want to wait until it almost fills. And then you want to Chrono attack first there. And then you just hold X. Just hold X, do all the attacks. Pretty simple. Earn your cycle, and then let's get into the next fight. Enter the forest, and trigger the next fight. This fight's pretty... Oh no. Sorry. This fight's pretty easy. You wanna attack the guy in the left. You wanna attack the guy in the left when Luca gets her attack. So when Luca gets her attack, you attack the guy on the left with both Chrono and Luca, and then you hold X. Okay? So wait until Luca gets her turn. Attack the guy on the left with Luca as well. That causes what we call an RNG jump. So Luca's gonna be targeting the guy on the left, but he died. So the game is gonna be like, wait, what? And it's gonna sort of jump your RNG value more than it should. And that's gonna give us a nice Nagahead fight. So yeah, this fight's way easier. Just wait for Luca to finish her attack. I mean, have her attack, sorry. And then just attack the guy on the left as well. The other fight was pretty simple. X right X. And then wait for Chrono almost to have his turn and then hold X. And this one just both attack the guy on the left and then hold X. And if Chrono hits for 20, then you're in the good RNG. You want to get this tab after the fight. The power tab. And you want to head out of the forest. Now we're gonna get into the Cathedral. Cathedral? Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button, sorry. Cathedral has a Nagahead fight. So you want to just mash A here. I mean, just so you can get the hairpin as soon as possible. This fight's pretty simple. I'm not gonna go much through it, but it's pretty easy. You want to hold X basically. Just hold X here, and then you want to do Fire Whirl. So you want to make sure as soon as Chrono gets his attack, you want to do the Fire Whirl. And if you're fast enough, you want to target the 3 girls on the left. So by doing that, you do up and then A. If you don't feel comfortable by doing that, you can just mash A. But if you target the 3 on the left, and then you do the normal attack on the girl on the right, you're gonna save like 0.4 seconds or something. So it's not like that huge time save, but it is a time save. I'm just gonna show it how it should go. Hold X here. Oh no. Okay, sorry. I forgot Luca wasn't on tech. Yeah, this happens. Just hold X. And then just fire whirl. I do a 3 on the left like that. The only thing you need to do is like instead of doing A twice, you do 8 up A. To attack the 3 on the left. You gotta practice that if you want to. It's not required. So, yeah. And then you wanna do flame toss on the last one. That's basically all you wanna do. Okay. So now we're gonna get frog basically. That's the next part, and then we're gonna do Cathedral. A pretty technical part of the run in my opinion. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah. Just mash text. Then we're gonna talk to Frog. And we're gonna rename him one character as well. So G. And then we're gonna open Cathedral. Open it by playing the organ, of course. And then we're gonna enter Cathedral. There's a couple of ways of doing Cathedral. I'm gonna show you both ways. They're equally fast, and equally fast, I mean exactly the same speed, so it doesn't really matter if you do one or the other. But yeah, I usually do the first one I'm gonna show you, which is the top one. So you can do whichever you want. You can go here, hold left, left. Get here. Or you can do the second one, which is going down here. Oh, my bad. Into the second one, which is just like down here. Through the door. Voila. So you can pick your pen or whatever. There's a revive here. I don't know which chest is it. Is it that one? If you're new in the game and you might be scared of dying in a fight, for example RSeries, you can grab this revive. It doesn't cost any time, and it might save you in case you need it. So if you're new in this game and you want to take the safety route, not really a safety route, you don't lose any time, so you can just grab this revive and just keep like going through the cathedral. So it's up to you. I'm gonna take this route always because it's what I've always done. Go up here. Get the steel saber and get here. Okay. So this room, there's a power tab. You can do this power tab by fade outs, or you can do it like just grabbing it. If you do it by fade outs, you have to do it like in 2 fade outs. Because if you do it in more than 2 fade outs, it's not really worth it. Like if what I did just there would have been, not as fast as it would have. So you want to do this basically. You want to fade one. You can get the tab, but you have to practice it. Fade outs are gonna be hard for me to get. So sorry. There's the delay on the emulator is different, but yeah, you want to do fade outs. If you're doing fade outs, basically what I recommend is your first fade out you want to be low. You want to be around here, and then your second fade out you want to hold left and then up, and then get the tab in 2 fades. Can be kind of tricky, but you gotta practice. If you're gonna do this method, you have to practice it. So yeah, you can do it in 2 fades. If you're doing it like in 4 or 5 fades, don't really do it. But yeah, I'm just gonna show you how to get it by fade. How do you know if you get it when fading? Well, you're gonna see how Chrono sort of gets stuck like that, and that means that you got the tab. Or you can just get this up. On the power tab. I just go. Okay, so, but yeah, if you can't do it in like 3 fades, is basically breaking equal. If you do it in more than 3 fades, I wouldn't recommend you doing in the run, because you're actually gonna lose time to a normal strat. So might as well just practice it for a few minutes offline and try to get in 3 fades or less. So yeah, after you exit that room, you're gonna go here. You're gonna go through here. You're gonna go through the next room. Gonna go here, and this is kind of important. So you wanna set up your party position in a certain way. So you wanna hold left as soon as you go up here, like right here, like near the railing, and then as soon as you get up here, when Chrono's like hand touches the black part here, you wanna go up and then down. That's gonna make your team not have a reposition together. That's super helpful. It saves a little bit of time. Like just hold left and then just down like that. Yeah, you can start moving without your team repositioning. It's pretty nice. Then you can just skip these fights as I'm doing them. Touch the switch. And here you want to hold down left the bat will never trigger if you hold down left before leaving the door. So once you're like mid screen, just hold down left and the bat will never trigger. Never, 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 if you hold down left all the time. So just hold down left. Now we have this fight. If you're still on the correct RNG, then you're gonna get 2 crits with Frog, making it super easy. If you don't have the correct RNG, don't worry. Just attack with Frog and use a fire whirl on the 3 enemies. So for this fight, you wanna wait a little bit. You don't wanna do the fire whirl as soon as possible. You wanna wait maybe like 10 frames or something. Very, very little. Because if you do it as fast as possible, Chrono's gonna get his next attack before Frog, and Chrono crit doesn't kill the Diablo. So just wanna make sure if you're getting that, if you're getting Chrono's attack first the second time and you don't know why, it's because you're being too fast. It happens, it happens. Now you're gonna get the organ. That fight's pretty easy. That's why I didn't explain it much. Just crit, fire whirl the 3, crit again. Go out here. You wanna do it like that so you don't have the falling animation. You wanna do it on one of the sides, be it left or right. You pick your side. Get the heal here. You have to get the heal. It's really important. It's for the last real fight of the game, and you're gonna get here. And this is where I'm gonna explain glitches. So here's where glitches come to play. If you're a new runner of the game, I recommend you doing the safety save. If you fail this next fade out, then you're gonna... Yeah, if you fail this next fade out, you're gonna... Basically, you need to fight Jakra, and basically the run's over. Or any skill level. So you wanna just make your safety save here in case you fail it. You can just reset here. So first I'm gonna explain fade out glitches. What's a fade out glitch? Well, you can see how when you enter the loading zone, it doesn't take me away immediately, right? It takes a little bit of time. So I can interrupt that taking away with a menu. I can interrupt and I can move. While the loading zone is still active, it's trying to take me away, but the menu interrupts it. So this is a fade out. This is a fade out. You can run during it. So basically just open the menu before the loading zone takes you out. You have a few frames there to move. You want to practice it and you want to learn the timings. It's not something I can teach you. You have to learn the timings for it. The timing for the loading zones is always the same, so you can just practice it and all the loading zones are the same. So yeah. And there's also a cute way to do fade outs, which is start plus B fades. So you want to hold start and B and then just press X, and then the menu will cancel on the first frame. So just like we talked to the guy in the shop, if you remember at the start, we talked to the guy in the shop and we closed his shop menu with start plus B before it even came out. We're just holding start plus B here and just pressing X, and the menu is cancelling on the first frame. This is faster. So if you really want to learn optimal strats, you might want to learn this. So just play around with fades. There are better areas to play around with fades than this one. But yeah, you know, just recommendation. So that's the fade out glitch. And then the save anywhere glitch is a combination of the fade out and a save point. So basically, I'm not used to this emulator times, so I'm just gonna play it safe. You can get this in 3 fades, but I mean, you can do 4, it's fine. So you're gonna just stand the save point, and if while you're standing on the save point, you can save. That means you have the save anywhere glitch. What does the save anywhere glitch do? Well, it's gonna allow me to go into this next room and be able to save where I can't. Why can I save? Well, the game thinks that I'm still standing on top of the save point, even though I'm not. Why? Because the loading zone took me away from the save point, so the game thinks, oh, this guy is still standing on the save point, so he can save anywhere. This is a save anywhere glitch, and it's really helpful. And this glitch stays with us until we get to another place that has a save point. If you enter an area that has another save point, then the save anywhere glitch resets, because the game is like, oh, okay, you're not standing on the save point because there's one here. So you wanna go back. You wanna do your fade outs. You can just practice this. Stand on top here, and then you wanna do your first menu of the game. So you want to press A here. You want to equip Steel Saber on Chrono. You want to equip Power Glow on Chrono. You want to hold up and right. And you want to unequip Luke. You want to go back from the high tunic, up and right. And unequip Luke. Then you want to go items. Use the power. Okay, I forgot something. You want to put the bandana on Luke as well. We'll do this again, don't worry. So basically, after the fade out, you want to go into your menu. I mean, during the fade out, Steel Saber on Chrono and Power Glow on Chrono, and then you want to do the Unequip Glitch. How does the Unequip Glitch work? Well, the Unequip Glitch is a glitch that, as the name says it, we can unequip our characters, and the reason we do it, it's because it gives us magic defense, and in the English version of the game only, I mean the US version of the game only, it gives us magic attack as well. This is the reason why the US version is faster than the Japanese version, even though the Japanese has faster text. The Unequip Glitch in the US version gives us also magic attack, plus the magic defense that we also get in the Japanese version. So this is really important. This is a really nice glitch, and we get defense against lightning, shadow, and water. We don't get defense against fire. The Japanese version we do get defense against fire, but in the US version, no, just those 3 elements and magic attack. So it's really helpful. Okay. So how does the Unequip Glitch work? Well, imagine you have Chrono, Luca. So you have 3 characters. You have your 3 fingers, you know. You have your 3 fingers. You have Chrono, you have Luca, and you have Frog. So Chrono can unequip Luca. Luca can unequip Frog, but Frog can't unequip Chrono because he can't reach him. You know, he's not close to him. Frog can unequip Luca. Luca can unequip Chrono, but Chrono can't unequip Frog. So even if your party is like party of 4, when you have 5, when you have 6, when you have 7, your first position character and your last position character will never be able to unequip each other, but the rest will be able to in order. So the way this works is you gotta make sure you don't have any extra items here, because if you have any extra like armor or helmet, they're gonna try to equip that. So you wanna make sure that you don't have any extra here, and you wanna make sure that you have an extra accessory, for example. And the way to unequip from Chrono to Luca is that you go on Chrono's Power Glove and you do up and R on the same frame. So up and R. And the game thinks you're gonna equip a bandana, but once you press A to the bandana, the game thinks no, the bandana is not part of the armor. You can't equip that, so you can take the karate gi off. And I'm gonna show you what happens if I try to unequip Frog's mail now. It says bandana, but once I try to equip something, the game's like, okay, you do have the karate gi, so you can't unequip Frog, you know, you can't have any item there. So yeah, Chrono, up and right, nothing, and then from the tunic now to Lucas' helmet. That's how the Unequip Glitch works. You can also unequip from the weapon, doing down an L, basically, down an L. But I don't have anything to show it off right now. I can't unequip from Chrono to Frog, so I can't show it off right now. But if you can unequip like up an R, and if your character is like to the left, you can do up and down an L, and you can unequip basically. If you had the items to unequip. So up and R on the same frame, down an L in case you need it. We're gonna get to some down an Ls. Only one, I think, during the run. So yeah, let's just review this whole thing now. So here, 1, 2. I mean, you can do it in 3 phases, but as I said, so you just do the menu. Steel Saber, Power Glove, unequip Luca 1, unequip Luca 2, bandana, power tap ×2, and the save point. And then as soon as I close this, I wanna start holding. I mean, as soon as I close this, the game's gonna take me to the next screen. As soon as the game fades black onto the next screen, I wanna hold up and B. I wanna run up. Because the way triggers work in this game, I'm not gonna get too technical. Let's just say they're moving triggers. So basically we can see like where the trigger is at a certain, well, we know we can't really see it, but we know where it is at a certain point, and we can try to save past it with a save anywhere glitch. And then when we reload the game, the trigger is gonna be a little bit lower, so we're gonna be past the trigger, and we are gonna be able to trigger the boss basically without having to fight him and being able to move during his battle, if that makes any sense. So after you close this menu, you wanna do nothing, and then you wanna hold buffer up and run, and then you wanna save. The saving point for this is kind of, it's pretty large. You're not gonna miss it, I can guarantee it. You can just, I mean, if you miss it like 2-3 times, you might, but after that it's pretty easy. I'm just gonna show you the position from where you can save. You can save from all the way around where I'm standing right now with Chrono. all the way to here. Once you get past here, you're gonna trigger the text. So yeah, just leave. Stand the save point, hold up and run. Open the menu and do a save. Do your save. Reload, just mash your reload. We're not gonna get into RNG stuff right now. And as you see, we can move after the cutscene, so that's great. That's great. Now during this fight, well, there's no fight, but there's something called text canceller. So I'm not gonna press A, I'm just gonna run. If I take if I take them out of the screen, the text cancels by itself. So there's some pretty nice text canceling we can get to make this even faster. So I'm just gonna do this again. So just close this. I actually did it on the last frame possible there. That was the last frame possible. You can do a save. Yeah, you can do this and then you can run, right? Okay. So you got it, you reload. You want to hold down fast onto the stairs. So down, stand right here. Close Lean's text, close Frog's text, close Lean's text. Get the meat ether. Close Chancellor's text. Close Chancellor's text 1, close Chancellor's text twice. Get this guy and then grind the Chancellor. Just hold up on him, run and up onto him. It's gonna make him appear faster. And then just cancel his text. Pretty simple. I'm just gonna do it one more time. If you want a more in-depth tutorial, you can probably check CK. CK is 100% tutorial. He's way better at this and he put a little bit more time into explaining this. But just by doing basic text canceling, you save a lot of time compared to not doing any text canceling. So, just hold down, mash the text box, close it. As soon as Queen Lean starts moving, run down to close Frog, close Queen Lean, get the mid ether, wait until the Chancellor starts speaking, go down, cancel him once, cancel him twice, get this Chancellor and grind this guy. Just run into him, make him appear fast, You don't want to get too far into him because you can get stuck actually. And then you want to just cancel his text. And yeah. If you get stuck into him, you can always get out, but you don't want to press A. If you press A, then you close his text box. But if you just try to wiggle out slowly, you can wiggle out. Also, one thing that you should note, after you fade out the last Jacra text, you don't want to move. You might think it's faster to try to get a few frames up. It's actually slower. So after you get the last Jacra text cancel, stay still and then your characters will move up normally. Don't move anything before it. So that's the Jacra segment. So if you can see the splits on the left side of the video, Jacra skip. So I have a split there. My splits are not the law. You can do splits for whatever you want. I just have it there because that's usually the first split runners have, Jacra. And you can add an extra split if you want. You can do it whatever you want for your splits. This is just like general what I do basically, which is like very similar and not the same to all of the runners. Then you want to go up the stairs and you want to get Marl. You want to get Marl in this way, so you don't want to just run into her like this. That's bad. That's bad. That loses 1 second. You want to go up here. You want to do like that. So sort of like that. Just hold up. Just sort of try and approach it like from the. Try and approach it from high. Just like high, circle, sort of like that. I'm not getting it like really well. I'm not getting it like really good, but just by doing it like this, you're gonna save time. Why does this save time? Because you actually trigger the cutscene further up. So see how close Marl is to Chrono? After she stops talking, the team is gonna get together real fast and you're gonna be able to get out of there really quickly. Compared to the other time, if you're farther down, Marl takes more time to move down and to start running. So you want to do that, just hold up until you like touch the bed and then just circle like I just did there a few times. Just try it out. You'll get good basically. The second time save, just close all the text. And okay, we still have save anywhere. As you see, we haven't entered another point with a save point, but the game still thinks we have save anywhere, which is nice for us. This is frog skip. This is the hardest skip in the game. You want to run past frog. Just like that, baby. Hardest skip in the game. And then you want to get out of the forest. Get out of the forest. Pretty simple. Don't trigger the fights. Okay, now you wanna do something called reverse bird skip. This skip saves 4 seconds and it's kind of, well, it's not really necessary, but I mean, really easy to do. And it also saves time because it's gonna set up our RNG for the next part of the game. That's something I wanna explain. I'm gonna explain in a bit. So, you're gonna enter truce. I need to select this, sorry. You're gonna run up. And you wanna save. So once you're like past the flowers, you want to save. You don't want to save too far up because you're gonna trigger the fight, you know. But you want to save like I usually save around here. I'm just gonna show you, just like around here. I just save. You don't want to save really close to a wall because if you save close to a wall, once you reload, you're gonna be stuck in the wall and you're not gonna be able to move and you're gonna soft lock. Okay. You want to save like around here, like you know, it's a good like measure. I just do this. I save here. If you don't feel comfortable, you can just make a save file down here in case you soft lock. You can go back to the other one and lose like a minute. And now we're gonna reset. And here's how RNG works. So I told you that for the start of the game, we have to start our RNG at 0. And by doing that, for that we need to delete all of our files, right? Well, the way RNG works in this game is that depending on the time spent on the title screen like this, it's the seed we get. So basically there's a certain like windows that we can get, and each window gives us a certain RNG seed. So for the first part of the game, we wanted the RNG 0 window. For this part of the game, we want the RNG that's between the 0.4 and 0.7 second window. So the way I do it personally is as soon as I see the screen pop, I count 0.4 to 0.7 seconds and I press A. That's basically how I do my loads. So if you check in my route, I have the times there for the loads, and you can follow that. There's an easier method that involves a metronome, and if you check the route that's on the Chrono.wiki page, the normal one that's there with the red, that made by RSeries, it actually has the beats. So you set the metronome to, I think it's 148 BPM. I might be wrong. You might have to check the wiki. 148, 168. I don't remember. You set the metronome to that, and depending on the beats, it's which RNG. Like 6 beats is the RNG for reverse bird skip, and 8 beats is the RNG for this and that. I'm just making numbers up. But if you want to do it that way, you can do it that way. I find it simpler just to see the timer and load. Some people have like, okay, if I scroll to 3 files 4 times, it's like 1 second. Everybody has their like kind of different thing. I just have this timer one, so I just like load the files as soon as I see 0.4 to 0.7. Okay, boom. And then reverse bird skip. How does this skip work? Well, there's 2 ways to do this skip. If you see right now, Chrono's bandana, I mean, you can see Chrono's bandana like going out of his hair. So you have 3 pixels here. That's the first pixel that works. That pixel doesn't work anymore. Does this pixel work anymore? Let's see. I don't really remember. Yeah, that doesn't work. So as soon as Chrono's bandana disappears from the screen, that means you can't get it. Okay? So you wanna, if you can see Chrono's bandana like that, that means you can just run right and skip the fight. If you can't see it like this, that means you can get it. There's 2 different ways to do it. First way is to just run up. Oh, I can see the bandana. Okay. All right. If you go too far up, you might wanna. If you go too far up, you might wanna go here, bounce into this guy, and then just hold right. That guy gives you the right position. So you can just try whatever you want. You can just try the bandana method, or you can just like, oh, that was my fault. You can just like align with that guy. You can pick whichever you want. I like the bandana method. People do both. So whichever you want to do. Add us to Stinger for the banana method, Stinger PA. Okay. And we are good to go. We're gonna start moving a little bit faster now that we got the basics covered for the tutorial. Just match your text. Keep going. So yeah, you might think like, well, how do I know if I loaded correctly? Well, in this case, we're gonna be able to see that in the next prison fight. If we hit a 60 with our cyclone, that means we loaded correctly. If we don't hit a 60, that means we didn't load correctly. And there's a backup strat for the dragon tank. It's kind of slow. I mean, kind of slow. It means like 30-35 seconds. But if you're like learning the game, I would recommend you reloading and trying it again. There's a closer reload during the prisons. Not too big of a deal. So yeah, just match your text where you want to go to the castle right now. Hold down. Right. Get out of here and let's go to the trial. Hold up. Just go through here. Then you can just copy the movement or find your own, I mean. No biggie there, guys, no biggie there. So yeah, just match your text, and this is a trial, so depending on what you do in the fair is the outcome you're gonna get. By the things we do in the fair, we leave it up to RNG. So one of the judges is gonna be random because he is not tied to any action. One of the jurors, I think it is, I don't know. It's gonna be random because we didn't tie him to any actions. All the other ones are tied to actions. And we want to answer the questions a certain way, not only to try to get guilty, but also to try and get the least amount of cutscenes possible. We're only gonna get one cutscene, but you can also get like you trying to sell the pendant one, and you're trying to pull Marl and things like that. So we don't want that. We're just gonna pay attention and try to answer the questions carefully, the fast way, basically. You're ordered to tell the truth. Didn't kidnap her, nope. Who started this? You have to select E did, so Marl did. You select you did. You cannot get the same cutscene, but you're not gonna get the same outcome. He did. You have to lie here if you wanna try to get guilty. And in the next one, he's gonna ask you, are you tempted by her money? And then you're gonna put yes. Because, I mean, Chrono wants the money, man. Money, 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 money. Okay. What about ransom? Yes, her fortune did tempt me. If you accidentally press no during her fortune did tempt me, then he's gonna ask you, are you sure? There you press yes. If you press no again, you're gonna get an extra cutscene of you grabbing the pendant before helping Marl. So this second juror is the one that's random. So I got guilty in this case. Guilty saves 5 seconds because you get 3 less text boxes. All the other jurors are gonna be the same if you did answer the questions the correct way and play the correct way. If you're getting jurors going different ways, that means you did something different in the fair. That's all there is. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're gonna get guilty. Yay, we saved 4 seconds in a tutorial. I mean 5 seconds, sorry. I could just advance this, but the reason I don't like to do this and skip like the frames or do the texts from hack for the tutorial is I just feel like I can explain so many things during the cutscenes that are not needed. Sometimes I might feel that, okay, like this is really, really long, so I might have nothing to talk about here. But yeah. They take him away and we're gonna be in the prison. Prison is a pretty technical area. I don't know what else to say. Very technical area, but if you do it quickly, it's like a minute tops. Like the actual preset movement part, like a minute tops. So yeah. And here's where you get less text boxes. He's gonna ask like executions in 3 days, and then if you're not guilty, then the supervisor will be like, what, execution, blah blah blah, don't question me, blah blah blah. But in this case, you don't get anything like that. Gonna get hit. I'm gonna get sent into prison. Feels bad, man. Okay. Now, the thing you wanna do here is you wanna grab the drink. If you're new in the game and you don't feel comfortable with your loads, then you wanna do a backup, just to save here, in case you don't hit the 60. Let's do this and just go over here. 3 times bang on the wall, the cell, I mean. And you wanna hold down an A so you can attack this guy. We wanna kill this guy before he goes down. And this is the best person in the world because you can actually hit him. Like that, bam. And then for this fight, you want to mash A. Chrono's already on cycle, so you want to just mash A. And if you hit a 60, that means you did your load correctly. If you didn't hit a 60, that means you did your loading correctly. If you don't hit a 60 and you want to reload, then you can go back to a save point. I mean, you can just stop reset and just try to reload from that save point. If you want to continue without reloading, then the backup for the Dragon Tank fight is 3 fire whirls and then hold X. And if Chrono's really low on health, you want to heal him. Luca's not gonna die. So just do 3 fire whirls, heal Chrono, and then hold X and play it safe. That's the strat you have to do for the backup. The strat we're gonna do, it's way cooler and it's way faster. So don't lose your RNG. Get the 60. You can skip the shields by walking in the middle of them. And then we're gonna do fade outs here. There's a fight on the middle of the bridge. I would recommend doing start plus fade outs. I'm gonna be playing it safe, because the timing is different in the emulator. And this is a pretty precise timing, I think. So you wanna try to make the least amount of fade outs. This is definitely not the optimal way to do fade outs. You wanna practice that with start plus B. Then the fight. There's no more fight. We basically triggered the fight and then the loading center took us back. You want to see the physical spot where the fight triggers? The fight triggers right here. So this is the middle of the bridge. Here. This is where the fight triggers. So you want to do the fade all the way here. It'll take you back and then you can just run. Nice. And this next part is RNG. These cards turn kind of quickly. The first card turns every 24 frames. He has 3 directions. The second card turns every 48 frames. I mean, the fastest they can turn. So for this one, you want to wait around here. And as soon as he turns right, you want to run and nail him. I usually just wait till they turn right, because if they are down and they move left, they're gonna catch you. But if they're right, even if he moves like super fast, it's harder for them to catch you. So I just do that. And in this case, I wait for him to turn to the bottom. So wait for him. Okay. If he's turning to the bottom as soon as I come, I wait until he turns right and then to the bottom. Just to play it safer. Just wait till he's turning right, he turns to the bottom, go for him. And you can practice it. Not that hard. Just want to play it safe. You shouldn't get caught. Unless you're like trying to play it risky, it's not really worth. Then skip this fight again. And then diagonals through stairs. You have to do the fade out glitch here. You can do a 1 fade, you can skip this fight in 1 fade as I just did there. That's the fastest. But you can do 2 fades. But yeah, whatever you want to do, just skip the fight with the fade out. Then trigger this guy. Like, help! But nobody's gonna help him. Sorry, man. Nobody likes you. And the Dragon Tank fight. So as I said, if you lost the RNG, the backup is 3 fire whirls. And then heal Chrono and then hold X. If you're on the red RNG, you can see the fight right now. This fight's pretty nice. It basically is kill the head first. After you kill the head, you can just go ham on him. So you're gonna see it right now. This is where the RNG really starts kicking in. Like, the RNG manipulation starts kicking in, because you're gonna see the crits we're gonna get. Hey, man. So you're gonna wait here. The key to this fight is to input your attacks during animations. You don't wanna input your attacks unless it's during an animation. What does that mean? That while an animation is happening, you input your attack. You don't wanna just randomly throw your attack, because we want this fight to go the exact same way every time. So we're gonna wait until he does something, and during that time he does something, we do something, and then, you know, we basically follow that through. So you're gonna just see it. I'm gonna explain it. It's gonna become obvious once you see it. You can check it in the boss patterns guide, how it's noted. Yeah, you can see that. So he's gonna repair his damage, attack the head. Chrono's attacking, Luca attacks the head. During animations, always. Except one attack, but that's later. Repairs damage, attack. But Luke already has her attack. No, we wait until he attacks us and then we attack the head. We do 5 attacks on the head total. Wait until he attacks you. And then this part's the new part. After the Chrono's 5th attack, you wanna wait until you get hit again. And you wanna do Chrono Cyclone. So Cyclone, and you wanna enter Luca's menu. And you wanna close it and reopen it. Why do you wanna do that? Well, you can actually skip an attack by doing it this way. So Chrono attacks, and then you wanna do Chrono Cyclone as fast as possible. I mean, sorry, that was my bad. You don't want to do it as fast as possible. You want to do it as soon as he attacks you. Chrono's attack. He attacks you, Cyclone, and you open Luca's menu immediately. And as soon as the damage disappears from Luca, you can do the Flame Toss. That's gonna stop Dragon Tank from hitting you twice. It's gonna hit you once. You wanna hold X here, so Chrono attacks as fast as possible. And then you wanna use Fire Whirl to finish him off. I mean, I was too slow there. I didn't want the timing to mess me up because of the emulator. So I'm just gonna do the fight again completely. You can just see how it goes. In one go. Pretty easy. Animation. Next. Let's get the head first. Times. A bit of nice smacking. Okay, so after the 5th Chrono attack, we're gonna do Cyclone when he attacks. Cyclone, enter Luca's menu. As soon as the damage disappears, close it and input the Flame Toss. That closing and opening gives us the ability to skip one of the Dragon Tank's attacks. Why does it work? It just works. Yeah, let's do what I know. Hold X here. And do Fireball. Pretty simple fight. Really easy fight. And voila. That's a Dragon Tank. So we're gonna go to the future now. Future, one of the more technical areas. One of the areas I hate the most because it's like you make a mistake and you lose a lot of time. Just really trolling. I mean, you do lose a lot of time, you make a mistake, just like any other part of the run, but the future is just like full with parts that can make you mess up. You're gonna get the shelter here, sorry. You wanna skip, there's a text here. You wanna skip this by running, like you wanna, you wanna like sort of bump into the guard a little bit and then just run down. Okay, so just like, run down a little bit and then run down. You can do it on the guy on the left as well, but I mean, it makes no sense because you're gonna be running down later, so just do it on the guy on the right. Run out, close the text, and match your text box basically. And then we're gonna go to the future. As I said, kind of hard area, technical. Last 16 cycle based. Aris Dome is gonna be also kind of hard. Get the first cycles. But I mean, getting second cycles, not like you're gonna lose so much time by getting second cycles. Lap 16 you only lose 4 seconds per cycle. Arizona you lose like half a second if you don't get the hard cycle, so not a big deal. I don't even go for the hard cycle in Arizona. If you get into a fight you lose like 30 or 40 compared to losing 0.5 by not doing the fastest parts. You have to weigh it. Okay. Just match your text. Mashing it. Right, just run through here. And just match your text, baby. Learn to match your text. Really important. Also, I'm gonna be plugging this several points in the tutorial. If you have any questions, you can just message me or you can join the ElGranJerry Discord. It's also on chrono.wiki.com. There's the invitation to the Discord. Everyone's welcome. The community is really helpful. Everybody you ask, really helpful. So if they see your message, somebody will answer. It's like it's bound to. Everybody's really nice, and we're all good friends. So don't hesitate to ask questions. Everybody has questions about this game. It's I mean, not that hard of a game, but an RPG, you know. There's a lot of things that can go wrong, especially with RNG manip. But as I said, you don't really need it, but it's recommended. Okay, so this is lap 16. Lap 16 is cycle based. I'm gonna go ahead and do a fast lap 16, and I'm just sort of gonna explain how it works, so you can see. So you wanna get that rat to steal you there. If he steals you there, you can run past the fight trigger. And open the chest. Open this chest. Go down here. That's the first cycle, lap 16. Yeah, that's a first cycle, lap 16. How does this works? Okay. When you start, you want to hold. This is based in cycles. So as soon as you start, you want to start buffering down right, and as soon as you're like here, you want to start holding right. And then what you want to do, make sure this guy doesn't take anything. What you want to do is like, you want to get this, and then you want to make your characters be in a certain position so that the rat gets pushed up, so you can just like touch him and go through here. Then you want to run, give the rat. If it takes extra money, it's fine, don't worry. Take the chest, don't get hit by that rat. Get this rat. Steal money. There's a fight here, but it won't trigger. You can also go through here if you want. So you can go like all the way around or just through it. It's fine, whatever you want. And then just go down here. Pretty simple. So yeah, just try it out if you keep getting second cycle. What does second cycle mean? I might as well explain that. So first cycle means that you get this pretty quickly, and that you get this rat on the top in this cycle. That's what first cycle means. Second cycle means that you missed this cycle, so you have to wait for it again. This would be a second cycle, basically. So yeah, just try to do it as fast as possible. It takes practice, I know. But yeah. And then this is pretty easy, just follow the movement I'm doing. You won't trigger any fights. Pretty simple. Okay, that's lap 16. Each cycle loses like 4 seconds, so don't worry if you're getting second or third cycle, you're not losing that much. No. But I mean, first cycle is not that hard. Just sort of wanna practice it. You can see the way I did it, get it like perfectly. It's really hard to explain sometimes. It's just really fast movement, but if you can sort of see the video and replicate it, you'll be fine. Then you wanna enter Arizona. I'm gonna plug this in right now. If someone finds an Arizona skip, I'm gonna pay them. I've opted from $50 to $100. So, what do I mean by Arizona skip? I want the route to continue. You know, skipping Arizona. You know, just skip Arizona and go into lap 32 and then be able to cross to the other side. If anybody does that and it works, it's speedrun viable. I'll give you $100. Plugging it right there. So yeah, just walk inside, go here, go down. We know the password for the machine, but it won't let us until we actually catch the rat, so we have to do the garden. So just run up here. Okay, here's where the thing, if you didn't change your controls at the start, you want to change your controls now. Because in this next room, if you press X, I'm gonna press X just, you know, for the lulz. If you press X, you trigger a fight. Okay? That's the game's way of telling you like, oh, there's a siren, it's gonna be something hard, let me heal. Boom. Fight. Rolled. So yeah, you want to change your controls here. Then you want to do this. You want to do your fade outs. And during the last fade out, you want to do weapons. Oh, you want to equip some weapons. So load sword, load bow, berserker. Those. And as soon as you go in, if you don't hear the siren anymore, that means that you actually did the fade out correctly. If you hear the siren, that means you let the fade out go too early. That's gonna make it really hard. I mean, that's gonna make you do it again, basically. If you change your controls just for this skip, you can change them back in the last fade. So after you equip your items on the last fade, you can just change your controls there. Just make sure you don't press X, the ring, the loom, because you're gonna trigger the fight. After you wanna make sure you press A here, so you wanna see this. A rat's more than just a statue. Blah, blah. If not, the rat won't trigger. So now we have the rat, pretty simple. You can catch the rat actually right there where he is. It's called swag rat, but I mean it's pretty hard. It's not really worth it, it's actually slower. Just looks pretty cool. Usually craft him around here. It tells you a password. After that, don't press anything, though you don't want to talk to him again. And then you want to do the password here, which is LRA. So just hold L and R and press A. And go up here. And this is the block remover that I was talking about, the zone movement. And this block room can be pretty hard to get like a really good movement. If you want to see the really hard movement, I'd recommend you watch RSeries video, world record, or I think maybe CK's tutorial. I'm not gonna go into detail on this. It's like 0.5 second time save, and I've never gone for it in a run, so I don't really know exactly how to do it. Not something that you need to. But if you wanna, you can ask around and people will help you for sure. So what I do is just this. And I might as well just try it for you to see. Yeah, you can go here if it's possible. And you can sort of get like between him like that. But that's like the hard way. The easy way, I mean, the way I do is just like run down here. And I just wait here until he moves up and then just do like that. As I said, like it's like half a second slower, but it's way safer, so just go for that. If you're really interested in the other things, then I wouldn't recommend learning a 0.5 second time save as your first thing in your run, but if you really want to, you can check some of the other videos. Just not mine, because I've never done it in runs. But I found like 0.5 versus losing 40 seconds is nothing. Like if I really need it, like if my sum of best was like 10 seconds from my PB, then okay, you need that, but I still have like 4 minutes. So. Not like half a second's gonna make or break for me. Also on the way back you can do a harder cycle. On the way back I'm actually gonna go for it and show you how it works. But if I miss it, then it's fine. So you mache, you do the fade out here. Just you need to go back into the room after the first fade, because you need to actually watch the second part of the cutscene. We can't actually just go out there. Allergies are kicking in. Okay, so this is the way back. You just go like that, and then you can get a mid-rat cycle here. I never get a mid-rat cycle, but you can do it. I mean, you can just wait here. Yeah, that's a fast way of getting out of there. If you're not comfortable with that, you can just wait. The block that's covering the stair, you can just wait for him to move up, and then you can just go to the stair normally. So yeah. You can just do that. And you can also get a faster rat cycle there, but I've never been able to achieve it. It saves, as I said, overall, like both ways, it saves like a second. Won't really be showcasing it. I think that's the only thing in the whole run that I won't be showcasing. It's the only optimal thing I don't do in the whole route. Well, that and the roll ED spawn in Agus Castle. I don't know how to do that. That one saves 4 seconds. Just 2 things. Run out of here after you get the bike key, and you're gonna raise the man. The man, Johnny, Johnny, Johnny. The Johnny race is like the way it works is dumb because it's like a rubber band. You go boom, 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 boom. You can't really like just get ahead of him, but it's actually faster to bounce ahead of him to get more speed, because if you just some people like just like circle him or just like bounce behind him, it actually makes you not gain that much speed. You want to get as much speed as possible, so you want to actually do the bike, you want to bounce on top of him, and you want to make sure you use your 3 boosts. If you fall behind, just use your boosts. Using your 3 boosts takes like 5 seconds, 0.5 seconds, sorry, just by using them. I usually save the last one just for safekeeping. So you just want to bounce on top of him. Pretty hard for me. It's a really bad race, but you want to sort of like bounce on top of him. I'm gonna blame input delay on this one. It's actually way harder. But yeah, you sort of want to just... At the end, what I do when it's like 50 left, I just like to bounce behind him and then just use a boost at the end. But yeah, you can just sort of just play the race and see what works for you. You want to actually stay bouncing in front of him a lot. And yeah, you can watch my PB or any other PB and you're gonna have better bounces than that. So if for whatever reason you lost the RNG, you want to make sure you shelter here, because this fight can actually kill you if you're not on the right RNG. So if you lost your RNG, just shelter. If you have your RNG, you have nothing. So that's pretty easy. So first things first, Marl's gonna attack. And then we're gonna get Chrono's attack. But we're not gonna use it until Luca has her turn up. Like that. And then Luca Flame tosses the same guy. You wanna make sure you're quick with that. You don't wanna wait too long, because then Chrono dies. But you actually have quite a bit of time, so you can just practice that and get the feel for it. Marl Berserker, load up Chrono attack as soon as Luca gets her turn. X, Flame toss, and then Marl crits the last one. This fight, if you walk around them, they don't trigger, so you can just walk. And just run. And you want to trigger the robot from the left, so Marl's closer to him. You can also do a mini get-together roll, but just make sure you trigger him from both to the left. Marl's close to him. Then you're about to see a good cutscene. The Robo cutscene. Okay, so now you want to rename Robo. You can't rename Robo O because Chrono's already O, so you want to name him like comma or 9 or whatever. Also, you gotta sort of be fast to rename Robo because Robo doesn't save that much time renaming him. You want to just make sure you rename him kind of fast, so you want to do 4 and just comma. Just name him pretty fast. He can't be O because Chrono's already O. Yeah, you want to make sure you do it fast. Robo doesn't save that much time for rename. He's the one that saves the least. And here you just want to mash A. Mashing A is gonna put Luca in your team for the next part, which is what you want, so smash. Now we're gonna go into the factory. Pretty easy area. But there's a little thing there about with RNG that it's a little annoying, but I'm gonna explain it in a bit. I can walk on the way back. Run like this. Into the factory. You wanna make sure you wait until the 3 persons have their attack in order for you to attack. So you don't wanna you wanna hold X as soon as Robo gets his attack up. So like that. Robo gets his attack up. Hold X. Chrono crits. I mean Chrono attacks for 1, sorry, and Robo crits for 10. So just hold X as soon as Robo gets his attack up. You wanna practice the timing on that for sure. Go down. They move. You go up, and then you're gonna make. You're gonna use a shelter here. And if you're scared of dying, new first runs, whatever, you want to save also. Oh. So the way we grab their items is gonna let us, so that once we travel the menu, we can actually press L. Pressing L lets us be exactly on the shelter. So press L, use the shelter, if you're gonna save. Okay. This fight, we're gonna run away. So we haven't explained running away from fights, but to run away from fights, you just wanna hold L and R. This is one of those fights where you don't have to enter the menu. You don't have to enter the menu to run away. I'm gonna explain running away in different, some more complicated fights later, where you actually have to use the open the menu trick. So yeah, we open this computer, we go down. So there's a fight coming up right down here that changes every frame. So there's 60 different fights a second that can happen, 60 different patterns. There's a way to manipulate it, but not that we haven't found a consistent way, because it's sort of consistent, but it depends on your reaction times. But since you have to, the only way in this game to know which second or which second we're on is the in-game time. And so we have to wait for the time to roll over in order to do this method. So that means we could be waiting here for up to 59 seconds, which is not really worth it. Unless you really know, like, oh, I'm only want to be waiting 5 seconds and I can try the manip. We don't usually go for the manip, but this fight usually has a general way of playing it. And I'm just going to show you the general way, and then you're going to have to adapt to whichever pattern you get. I'm not going to go over many patterns. Only the one I get, so let's pray. You want to hold up right here. There's battles here, just want to skip them. You want to hold left here, skip the battle. Down here, skip the battle. Trigger this. And pray. Okay. This is a pretty good pattern. I mean, not the best one, but it's not one of the worst ones. So basically you can see 2 different types of enemies here. You see the green enemies and you see the orange enemies. Green enemies are really weak. They have 9 HP. But if you attack them and they're close to an orange enemy, they counter-attack. So that sucks because we can't use Chronocyclone right now. Because of the position they're in, we can't use Chronocyclone because we're bound to hit a green one close to an orange one. So that sucks. And the orange ones have 10 HP, but they have way more defense. And they don't counterattack. So the way I like to play it is if I can get a Cyclone in where I don't get counterattack, then I usually try to get that Cyclone in. And then I try to Luca to attack the orange ones. Since she hits really low, might as well just do chip damage to them. And use Robo Rocket Punch on the green ones, because Rocket Punch is usually gonna kill them in one shot. If Rocket Punch doesn't kill in one shot, that means you just got unlucky. You're usually gonna kill them in one shot. And in this case, I'm just, for example, I think I'm just gonna... No, that was a mistake for me. But I mean, I didn't get countered. I'm just gonna show you. That was a bad way of me from playing it for me. I'm gonna show you sort of how I would do this fight in the run. Well, what I explained, you know, okay, I see this, what do I do? Okay, I'm just gonna attack. So, attack the orange guy. I get 2 green ones here. I'm gonna go for that one because Robo usually kills. If he doesn't kill, it's just bad RNG. He kills. Okay, so that's 1 green down. That's really good. Here I pray that they... Okay, I'm still gonna go for it. They shouldn't be too close, but I mean, you might get countered. See, I didn't get countered, so I usually attack with the green ones. Now that they are lower HP, I can just attack them normally and they'll usually die from one hit. I think I'm not gonna Cyclone yet. I'm just gonna wait. So yeah, you wanna try and not get countered. That's the main thing. Green one should die now. Oh, come on, Chrono. Okay, that was a touch. I mean, sort of the way you wanna play it, you know. Rocket punch the green ones. If you manage to get a Cyclone on the green ones, they will usually die from one Robo normal attack. And just try to chip the oranges. After you finish the fight, rule of thumb, you always wanna cure beam. Get out of here. Then you want to do this. Okay, this part of it's kind of confusing. If you change your controllers, it's gonna tell you to press XABY. You want to press XABY, the ones that are noted in the controller, not the ones you change them to, the ones that are noted in the controller. There's part of this game, like for example the Johnny race, I didn't mention it, but the boost is not the B you change the B to, it's the B that the controller has. And the Soup race versus Ayla is also gonna be that, so there's just some places in the run. You're gonna get a plasma gun, you're gonna go here. You're gonna do XABY, go down, activate this. And up next is RSeries. RSeries, I think it's I'm gonna say it's hard, not hard fight, it's just hard to get the timing down kind of thing. Since we don't know which pattern we're gonna get for acid alkalines because it's random, we don't know which RNG we're at. Luckily for us, our RSeries pattern, our RSeries fight doesn't require RNG manip, but it requires you to be fast on your inputs. Kind of fast. So if you find yourself struggling with this, you can change your battle speed to 2 or to 3. Just make sure to change it back right after the RSeries fight because you need battle speed 1 to do a good Masamune later on. Okay? So, but yeah, I would recommend practicing battle speed 1. It's not that hard to get down, just the timings. If you have the emulator, you can just like make a save state right before the timings and just practice. Get them down. Get them down. But yeah, changing the battle speed for this fight, just don't forget to change the battle speed back, because then you're gonna change the battle speed for this fight, you're gonna go on and you're gonna wonder why is Masamune not working? And you're gonna be asking questions and be wondering why, and it's like hard to tell what your battle speed is, and then it's like, what's your battle speed after hours of trying? It's 2. Fine. I usually try to get Chrono into sort of a position like this, just so he's closer from when he's gonna be after the cutscene ends. Don't really know if that saves time. I just do it. Please stop. Please don't kill him. Stop. Robo down. Robo thump. Robo thump. Just trying to reproduce the chat. Some people are like, die, Robo die, and some are spamming Robo thump. Or just the drunken draconian. Or the cool emote. Okay. So this fight goes pretty simple. It's basically cyclone the 3 guys on the top, on the front, sorry. So the left side. Cyclone the 3 guys on the back. Cyclone the 3 guys on the right. Cyclone the 3 guys on the front. I'm gonna teach you. There's 2 different methods for this fight. I'm gonna mention both, but I'm only gonna showcase one. I'm gonna showcase the easiest one only. The other one I'm gonna mention it. But yeah. Okay, basically you wanna make sure you enter the menu fast. So in this case I do something called double tap. So what's a double tap? It's the super hard speedrun technique. It's the hardest speedrun technique you're ever gonna learn. What's a double tap? Pressing the A button twice. What does that do? If you press the A button once, then let's say you are early, before your menu has actually opened, then you're not gonna open the menu and you're gonna get hit and you're gonna basically screw up this fight. If you press the A button twice and your first A press is early, then your second press is more likely gonna be inside the menu. If both of your presses are inside the menu, then you enter the menu and you select the attack, but you don't use it. If you do a triple tap or if you're mashing, you're gonna actually select the attack and use it. and you're gonna use it on the wrong enemies. If you wanna try and practice the double tap, it's really nice. So yeah, double tap as fast as possible. Cyclone the 3 guys on the front. Now there's 2 different strats here. You might wanna wait a little bit and try to use a Luca item to heal whoever gets hit the most, and then use Chrono Cyclones on the back and then on the front. That's a little bit harder. So if you're just starting with this game, I will just recommend the strat. This is the strat I use in runs also. I just hold X here, hold X. Luca's gonna attack the guy in the bottom. Oh, is this a warrior? Is this the warrior? This is the warrior. And you just attack the guys in the bottom. Double tap, attack the 3 guys on the back. And then I wait for Chrono's turn to go up, so I can Luca Flame Toss. So just mash A with Luca as soon as Chrono's attack goes up. Well, I was a little bit early. This is gonna make it a little bit harder, but you just need to double tap as well. And if you don't get hit by the guys in the back, that means you were fast enough. That's a good fight. And then you just wanna mash A or do the Chrono Cyclone. But yeah, this is the famous warrior pattern. If you get 32, 30, 32 damage as I did, you can actually skip the Luca attacks or the Luca heals and just cyclone the guys front, back, front without dying, but it's super tight on timing. So shoutouts to SNES Warrior. I won't recommend doing the warrior, not gonna lie. Just do it this way, or if you want to do it a little bit faster way, you can just look a mid-tonic, whoever gets hit the most at first, and then just cyclone. Hard. Okay. So that's it for Chrono Trigger tutorial part 1. I'm gonna be dividing this in maybe 3 or 4 parts, depending on how long they go. This has been part 1, basically the basics and getting up all the way to the future. If you want it in time-wise, this is the equivalent of like 45 minutes in a really good run, or like 46-47 minutes in a normal mediocre run. So we got pretty far through the route. I mean, this is a 2-hour 48 route. You'll have like 2 hours to go. So I'm just gonna best advice I can give you right now about this tutorial. You've been following. I recommend you, if you're following with the notes, the route that I said at the beginning, chrono.wiki.com. Well, you might want to make your own notes, like maybe it doesn't mention like you have to go a little bit to a left here or something like that. You might just want to note your things, or maybe you want to note like, I might forget that I have to mash A for Robo, and you know, I might not have to change characters or whatever. You can just write that down. Just make your own notes, basically. Your own little annotations that might help you personally, because everybody thinks different. Everybody uses the routes different. Everybody learns differently. So whatever suits you, you can do it. So yeah, that's part 1. Part 2 is going to be released later, and I'm just going to post the follow-up, the links. I'm just going to make a playlist on YouTube. I'm going to stream them also on Twitch, and I think Twitch can also do playlists now, so I'm just going to save them on the playlist there as well. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I recommend you follow the Chrono Trigger community, follow the game on Twitch, and just check whenever somebody's doing runs. I mean, it's a great game to speedrun, and I'll see you for part 2 for the learning. Don't really go anywhere.